Hello everybody and welcome to the Wake Up, your rundown of the entertainment, media biz, and tech stories to know on Thursday, January 16th, 2020. Brought to you by the freshest Colombian coffee you can get, Devoción Coffee. In today's Wake Up, HBO takes the stage at the TCA, though HBO Max has more actual news. South by Southwest sets its films lineup. Forbes makes big changes to its business model, and HBO also dropped a teaser spot for the 4th season of Insecure, coming in April.
Time to level up, ho, call me elevator. Not worried about no bullshit, not worried about no haters. No. I'm on my hustle shit like I run the neighborhood. Picking up my block, ain't no fucking I would. Ooh.
So let's kick it off in Hollywoodland. HBO took the stage at the TCA, announcing a 3-year overall deal with Steven Soderbergh for both HBO and HBO Max. Wait, did HBO Max announce that? Yeah, this won't get confusing. Warner Brothers also gets a first look deal with Soderbergh for movie projects. Adam McKay got the green light to produce a climate change-themed anthology series for HBO Max called The Uninhabitable Earth, which is based on the New York Times best-selling book. It'll feature stories set in possible future scenarios caused by a warming planet, covering a wide range of genres. McKay will write and direct the first episode, but the rest will involve guest director and writer talent. HBO Max also signed a deal with Wolfgang Puck for an 8-episode unscripted series called The Event, focusing on his catering company as they ramp up for big events like the Oscars party. The streaming service also greenlit a family-friendly 3-part animated miniseries called Aquaman, King of Atlantis. That's from Aquaman director James Wan. And at HBO, no Max, it was mainly a bunch of TBD sentiments on properties like Watchmen and Big Little Lies, and some premiere date news. John Oliver will return on February 16th. David Simon's 6-part limited series The Plot Against America, which revolves around an imagined victory for Charles Lindbergh's anti-Semitic presidential campaign against FDR in 1940, launches on March 16th. That one's based on the Philip Roth novel. And the 4th season of Issa Rae's aforementioned Insecure will premiere on April 12th. HBO's little brother network Cinemax is getting out of the original series business. It premieres the final season of its Strike Back reboot in February and has one more season of their Bruce Lee series Warrior in the can. But after that, the service will remain as a linear cable pay TV movie network and streaming app. Also, HBO Max creative head Kevin Riley said, quote, "We'll see what happens with the remaining originals on DirecTV's audience network, such as Loudermilk and Mr. Mercedes." Well, glad to see someone knows what's going on. Thanks to a press question, HBO Max had to remind people that it will be launching without any of the Harry Potter movies. NBC Universal locked those up in 2016 through 2025. Oh, hello Peacock. That streaming service has an unveiling event this afternoon, so more Peacock details tomorrow, although Punky Brewster has already been officially ordered to series, though my fingers are still crossed for a Facts of Life library deal. And finally at TCA, animated series American Dad got a 2-season renewal over at TBS. The show will air its 300th episode this year. South by Southwest will open its film festival this March with the world premiere of Judd Apatow's new comedy, The King of Staten Island, starring Pete Davidson and Marissa Tomei. It's slated for a mid-June release from Universal. Other films screening at the festival include the Spike Jonze documentary Beastie Boys Story, which will hit Apple TV in late April, Clerk, a documentary focusing on filmmaker Kevin Smith, The Lovebirds, a murder mystery comedy with Issa Rae and Kumail Nanjiani, and John Leguizamo's Critical Thinking, which focuses on a group of Black and Latinx national champion chess players. Also, this year's festival will be brought to you by White Claw as a super sponsor. Way to keep it weird, Austin. And if you're an assistant at CAA, get ready to put down that down payment on a Beamer, used probably from around, 2003. The agency announced assistants will get a raise from $15 an hour to $18 and won't have to wait till year's end to receive any raises for status promotions during the year, according to Deadline. This is in response to the popular Pay Up Hollywood hashtag that has gained prominence over the past couple of months, highlighting the extremely low pay rates for entry-level and support staff that the Hollywood system operates on. CAA also announced help in finding lower interest rate loan plans for assistants' college loans. not much of note in Silicon Valley, so we'll shift over to the media biz. With a huge price cut at subscription podcast service Luminary, Forbes going behind a paywall, and a huge payday for Fish, who I'm sure are big coffee drinkers and will love a bag of beans from our sponsor, Devoción Coffee. Now, if you're having your morning cup of coffee, you may know it's freshly roasted. A lot of people print that on their bags, but what you don't know is when those coffee beans were picked off the trees. Depending upon the origin, that can be as much as 6 to 9 months. And we all know that coffee is better when it's fresh, and there's no fresher coffee you can get than Devoción Coffee. Devoción FedExes freshly picked beans from the mountains of Colombia every week to their headquarters in Brooklyn, freshly roasts them, and puts it in your coffee cup, often within just 2 weeks' time. They have 4 locations in New York, but if you live in LA, San Francisco, or anywhere, you can sign up for their subscription plan, and they'll send you beans as often as you want. Every week, every 3 weeks. I'm more of a 2-week kind of guy. Whatever you need. Go to devoción.com/wakeup and get 15% off your first order. That's Devoción, DEVOCION.com/wakeup. Get 15% off on me. Well, on Devoción, but it's kind of for me. Get yours today. And now the latest from the media biz. Subscription podcast platform Luminary, who spent millions of dollars signing up A-list talent for exclusive podcasts. I'm still apparently on the F-list. Anyway, they announced they're cutting their price by over 40%, lowering the monthly subscription fee from $8 a month to $5 a month, according to Hot Pod News. Luminary will also launch an annual subscription model for $35 a year. Fortune magazine is going behind a paywall as well next month and cutting its print edition to 10 editions a year. Those newsstand print copies will now cost $10 each, up from $7, and they'll be ditching business leaders from their covers, instead going with artistic concepts, according to the New York Post. As for the paywall on Fortune.com, there will be 3 tiers of subscriptions. Digital only for $49 a year or $5 a month, a digital and print combo at $99 a year or $11 a month, and a premium $199 a year subscription or $22 a month for all the above, plus access to videos from their conferences. Those conferences, by the way, make up 40% of Fortune's $100 million of annual revenue. Digital brings in about 30% and print about 20%. Longtime Harper's Bazaar editor-in-chief Glenda Bailey is leaving the publication in February after almost 19 years, according to the New York Times. Parent company Hearst has yet to name her replacement. Research firm MoffettNathanson released a report yesterday about just how much younger viewers are fleeing cable TV. Overall, cable TV viewership was down 10% in 2019, mostly due to declines in those younger demos. Cable network viewership among 18 to 49-year-olds specifically was down 15% versus 2018. Speaking of cable TV networks, WGN America, which made a run at original programming a few years ago with shows like Salem, is shifting from entertainment to news programming in prime time, according to the Wall Street Journal. The network will air 3 hours of national news programming weekday evenings under the title News Nation. WGN America is owned by the country's largest local TV station owner, Nexstar, and will utilize news gathering and anchor talent from their local affiliate stations to make the show. And let's finish up with a couple of music biz headlines. First, a shout out to Fish, the PH one. Billboard reports that their 4 shows at Madison Square Garden leading up to and including New Year's Eve brought in $6.7 million in December. Not bad for 4 nights' work. That's not even including the food concession sales. For those of you in the cheap seats, that was a pot joke. And the inductees to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, airing this May live on HBO, will be Depeche Mode, Whitney Houston, 9 Inch Nails, T-Rex, the Doobie Brothers, and Notorious B.I.G. Because nothing says rock and roll like a rapper from Bed-Stuy. That's a wrap for today. Remember, you can get links to all stories mentioned here in the podcast show notes. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they broke in your soul.
I put hoes in NY onto DKNY. Miami, DC, prefer Versace.